Okay, gonna be talking about a couple things today. I'm gonna stay in like the whole tone universe, and yeah, so I'm just gonna get to it. Whole tone scale. It's made up of it's called the hexatonic scale. It's got just a bunch of whole tones stacked together until you get to the octave. So E, that's the whole tone scale in E. It's got this quality. It's got a dominant quality about it, and you can move hexatonic shapes around in a lot of parallel movements, which is really cool. I just did that. I just did one. You know, a simple idea might be, you know, taking a motif such as I'm just taking an idea and moving it around. There's the parallelism with whole tone, which is just kind of cool, and you can play them over dominants. Any 5 chords, you can use a whole tone scale. It's just really so I just love the way it sounds. It's just got this like it's got this like out of body experience kind of a flavor about it. I feel like I'm twisting. It's like it's very dissociative. It's like it's as if it's a bit unnerving. It's kind of like it's almost like a, to me, it feels like almost like an astral projection. But I want to show you some things I like to do. I show you a couple of things I like to do with the whole tone scale. I obviously like to move it around because it can occupy, you know, multiple spaces at once and still do its job. You know, in that case where the bass might be playing like a 5 chord on E, you know, you can move these shapes around across any of the whole tone positions. They're going to work, including chords you can build off of it. And I think I just showed that, you know. You know. It all works, you know. It's all E5, right? I'm just using, you know, passing tones to move between those. But I think you can hear what I'm talking about here. Another thing I like to do is, and this is, some people are going to think this is total blasphemy, and just something you should never do, and that is to play you know, use your eyes to come up with you know, other shapes. And I'm gonna call this one, in my mind, I always think of like the Charlie Brown sweater, you know, with that that zigzag pattern. And it just so happens when you play the whole tone scale, you can play in zigzags, like linear, and I'll show you what I mean. So if we're in E, well, I can play in zigzags. Look, I'm going do, do, and I can play. Is that that's just like, does that work? It's total visual inspiration for a musical sound, and sometimes you need to apply things like this to coax out, you know, sounds you may not have like come across. Of course, when you get to that B string, you gotta, if you want to continue that kind of a pattern, you've got to shift, but you're still getting this kind of this zigzaggy motion here. And of course, I can play those patterns on any of the whole tone steps in there, and it's gonna work. One last thing I want to talk about before I shut this down, because I know it's getting kind of crazy. I like to introduce notes outside of the whole tone scale with the whole tone scale to get like some more colorful sounding you know, melodic ideas. So here's an example. I'm gonna take a you know, these notes from okay. I'm just taking 4 notes from the whole tone scale here, and I'm back to the root here. Now there's no perfect fourths, perfect fifths, major 7s, flat 2s, major 6ths. None of those intervals exist in the whole tone scale. You've got a 2, a 3, you know, a sharp 4, a plus 5, and a minor 7. So I like to introduce, you know, notes that live outside of that scale into like a whole tone pattern. And I'll show you what I mean. So so if I'm playing E here, I could, you know, that's all that pattern I just played, or even tritones. It's all using the whole tone scale. Well, what if I want to borrow a note from outside of it, like the perfect fourth, for example? To add some like additional color to the whole tone scale. Color tones, basically. And they're always going to be outside of that sound. Outside of that whole tone sound, but still like structured against the whole tone. So, you know, you can take something like get some pretty colorful sounding shapes. And here I just, you know, with this like simple idea, I just stack perfect fourths over top of those 4 notes. I end up getting actually end up getting an 8-note. If that's in E, I end up getting a flat. I get a, you know, +4 major 7. I get this the minor 6, flat 2. I get the root, a perfect 4th, the 2, and a perfect 5th. It's cool, man. Anyways, that's witchcraft, and I think that you need to explore. You need to break all the rules sometimes. Anyways, that's enough of that, about that.